This looks like your standard Fiat 500, besides its excellent electric orange paint. And I said electric for a reason. This is a 500e. That means this is a fully electric vehicle. Fiat made a point though to make it a Fiat, and it's gonna drive like a Fiat, it's gonna act like a Fiat, it just happens to be electric. Let's take a look. Fiat has made a number of changes to the exterior so that this stands out just a hair from your normal gas-powered 500. The lower fascia helps move air around, the sides are smoothed, the sills come out wider. You can tell these wheels are all about aero. The mirror caps are different. There's a big spoiler out here in the back, and the under tray has been sealed off a little bit better. That helps. 15% improvement in aerodynamics on this car, and that's how it's able to get a best-in-class mile per gallon equivalent, but it also gets an actual real-world driving rating of around 87 miles. That's really good for any electric vehicle and should help quell range anxiety. This is an 83 kilowatt electric motor and 600 pounds of batteries. It produces 111 horsepower and around 140 pound-feet of torque, and it's fed through a single-speed gearbox. So you just press a button, put it in D, and you're off silently. So what's it like to actually drive this thing? Well, the average Fiat is fun, little nimble car it's fun. It's not super sporty, but you can have an enjoyable time on a canyon road or just cruising down the street. And that's the whole point of the Fiat 500. The automaker didn't want to lose any of that fun. So what they did was make an electric vehicle that is just like your standard Fiat. Yes, it has 600 extra pounds due to those batteries, but they reworked the suspension to work around that issue, and you're left with a car that feels like your standard Fiat 500. It just happens to be silent. It also happens to go off the line really quickly. It takes a little bit to get to 60 miles per hour, 9.1 seconds, but that's standard for an EV, and it feels like it's got great thrust, which is really important. Additionally, it's got regen brakes, but they feel like standard brakes, and that's very important. Overall, this feels like your standard car driving experience, except it's quiet and fun, and that's great. There are a few things to let you know that it's a little bit different. You don't have the traditional automatic gear selector here, you just have buttons because it's a single speed. Not only that, you've got what looks like your standard gauge cluster. I can see my miles per hour, but I can also see a lot more. I've got how much charge the battery has. I've got my range. I can see if I'm trending up or down. Right now we're going down a hill and I'm actually earning miles back. I can see that the brakes are charging the battery back up. You've got a lot of information that's relevant to an EV driver. Not only that, normally this is an optional extra, this TomTom up here. On the Fiat 500e, it comes standard. And that's a good thing because it's not just a navigation system. It also shows you electric charging stations, it shows you battery status, shows you your rate of usage, and a lot of other relevant info that the electric vehicle driver wants and needs. It's a really nice touch, and it's great that they're throwing it in with the price of the car. The really interesting thing with this car is the pricing strategy. Its base price, or just standard price, because your only options are color or sunroof, is $32,000. But the amazing thing is Fiat is offering a lease program on this car. For just $1,000 down, this car is $199 a month for 36 months. That's amazing. That's with a mild case scenario. If your state offers more rebates or your job offers more rebates, you can get that even lower. They showed us scenarios where it's possible to get this car under $100 a month. And that's not using Tesla math, that's using real math. This car is very impressive, and it could be a gateway for more EVers to hit the road.